Hi, good afternoon. My name is Brandy Redmond, and today I'm going to be going over my analytical report comparing 3 different colleges' master's programs for business administration, so an MBA program. The 3 schools I'm looking at are UC Berkeley, UCLA, and UC San Diego. Now, all these colleges are located in California. They are part of the University of California school system, so the UC school system. I'm comparing them to determine which one would be the most desired or the best to attend for a master's degree based off of 4 criteria. The 4 criteria are cost, convenience, caliber, and accessibility. Now, cost, with the schools, I'm going to be looking at which one is the cheapest to attend. So tuition, books, and additional fees that the UC charges, which one is the cheapest. And convenience is going to be the school that offers the most flexible programs. So I'm not looking at how quickly I can finish the program, but which one offers the best flexibility with their schedule. So what one would be the best for any student who works full-time or has a busy schedule to attend. With caliber, I'm going to be using US News and World Report's ranking systems for each one of the colleges. I'm looking for the highest ranking school because based off of their criteria, they look at the peer assessment scores, placement success, and the rate for full-time graduates, employment rate. And then I'm also going to be looking at accessibility. So which school offers the best acceptance rate? So out of all the students that apply, how many of them actually get accepted into the program? So looking at cost between each one of the universities, if you look at my graph on page 3, I broke down the tuition, the books and personal expenses, and the admission and additional fees of each one of the schools. So across the board, it's about $12,000 for tuition for each school. And then for books and other personal expenses, it's around $5,600 as an estimate. And those are the same for those 3 schools. What really sets the schools apart is that UC Berkeley and UC San Diego both require a supplemental tuition fee, which is around $25,000, that UC Los Angeles does not require you to pay. So UC Los Angeles is the cheapest master's program and wins this criteria point for cost. Next, I was looking at convenience. So I wanted to know which school offered the most options for their for schedule. So somebody who's going to work full time, they should be able to take the master's program and have it work with their schedule. So if you look at the graph on page 5, I provided each school's breakdown of what programs they offered, and then how many options it is. So with UC Berkeley, they offer full-time, evening and weekend, and then a Thursday and Friday schedule, which is, it's a lot to offer, and then same thing with San Diego. They offered the full-time, the 2 evenings and weekends, and then Saturday and Sunday. And it still lets you get the program done with the least amount of time. But compared to UC Los Angeles, they offered 4 options, the last one being a hybrid option, where you only come into the school 1 time a month. So if you can imagine living far away from the university and wanting to take their master's program, you only have to go in once a month. So I would choose the hybrid option, and I think that school wins for convenience because anybody can attend that program. So UC Los Angeles is definitely the winner for convenience. Next, I looked at caliber. So I used US News and World Reports to compare the schools' rankings. They look at a variety of things about the school. So they look at peer assessment scores, placement success. They look at the employment rates for full-time graduates and also the acceptance rates. So looking at the graph on page 6, you can see that UC Berkeley looks a little opposite because it's the lowest, but it's actually the highest ranked school. So they got number 2 for best part-time MBA program, and they got number 7 for the best business schools. That's the highest ranked school out of the 3 that I compared. And then a close second is UC Los Angeles. So they ranked 5 for the best MBA program and 16 for the best business school. And then looking at UC San Diego, I was actually disappointed. They ranked 43 for the best MBA program and 89 for the best business school. So looking at the comparison from US News and World Reports for caliber of each school, UC Berkeley is the winner of that criteria. And lastly, for accessibility, I looked at which school offered the most acceptance rate. So out of all the students that applied, what was the percentage that they were going to get in? So if you look at the graph on page 7, I provided the acceptance rates for the MBA programs. You can see that UC Berkeley and UC Los Angeles both have about a 12% acceptance rate, and UC San Diego's 40%. Now this is for their business program, not for the school. It's just for that master's MBA program. And UC San Diego definitely wins this criteria point for 40%. That's a lot more students than UC Berkeley and UC Los Angeles that actually get into the school and are able to take the master's program. All right, my final recommendation. So looking at all the stats that I provided, UC Los Angeles won 2 criteria points, and then UC Berkeley won 1, and UC San Diego also won another. UC Los Angeles would be the school I would recommend for a master's program because they got cost and convenience, and they also got second on caliber. They were the second best in the US News and World Report's ranking system. So I would say that that's like one of the best schools to get your master's program, and that is my final recommendation. Thank you so much for your time.